bloody massacre in San Bernardino, but the president said he does not rule out terrorism.
Let's bring in CNN law enforcement analyst Harry Houck. He's a retired New York police detective, as well as CNN intelligence and security analyst Bob Baer, former CIA operative. It's great to see you both. So, Harry, I want you to take us to the scene. You were on air all day yesterday as all of this was playing out. But today, in the light of day, there are fresh pictures of the scene of that car. This is where the shootout happened between police and the attackers, where they were both killed.
Right.
Take us to this scene. I see, for the untrained eye, there's too much here to even focus on.
Right.
Take me to this scene. What is happening here? What are we looking at?
Well, you see these yellow and these orange markers there. Those are evidence markers. And what happens is when your crime scene unit comes to this vehicle, what they have to do is they have to mark off whatever evidence which is going to be very critical in the investigation of this case. So let's say they find shell casings. They'll put a marker next to the shell casing, and they usually be numbered. So let's say number one shell case, number one marker shell casing, and I'll put that in the report. Number two, weapon found inside the vehicle. Number three, bomb found inside the vehicle, and it shows the location. So now once you have all these locations marked off of evidence, all right, what they do is then they take photographs, or now they take video of that area, so that when they go to court, they're going to say, okay, where was such and such piece of evidence? They'll say, okay, that's marker number 3, and marker number 3 is clearly shown on the report and clearly shown on the videos there for the police.
And Harry, this is just one of 3 crime scenes right now, right? We have the car, we have the home, and we have the place where the party was.
This was probably the easiest crime scene right there. Now,
Is it contained?
Yeah, because it's small.
Okay.
It's small. You can see where the shooting occurred. Forget about it. I mean, I don't even know if
they still haven't even removed the bodies.
Well, they're not going to either. I mean, until all the photographs and all the markers are put down for all the evidence that's there. They probably don't even have enough markers. There's probably thousands of markers in that location. The biggest jobs.
And it's happening right now as we speak. It happened all throughout the night. So, Bob, let's bring you in on this. You heard from the president saying that he's not ruling out terrorism, but also saying very candidly, obviously the president knows more than he's going to tell us on any given day to the public, but talking about the possibility of a mixed motive here. And John said it perfectly. If it's partially terrorism, maybe workplace related, isn't it definitely terrorism then?
Well, let's wait until the facts come out. If he had been fired, for instance, the man, the Houck, the employee of the health department, it's, could be work related, but I have seen nothing to that effect. What disturbs me is this was a military assault. The fake pipe bomb that was thrown out of the car to break contact with the police, the remote control detonating device left inside the building, 2 shooters, a lot of ammunition, everything. You go right through it, and these people had some sort of training, some sort of commitment to this. And also, it's clear to me that when they decided to take on the police and fire back at them, they were ready to die. They looked like they were martyrs to me. And I'll go out on a limb and pretty well, I'm convinced right now, until proven otherwise, that this was international terrorism. I mean, once they get into the data and look at the internet searches these people were doing, but right now this was too well planned, too well coordinated. As I said, classic military assault, speed, surprise, extreme violence at the objective, and that just it fits those characteristics and not a workplace shooting.
Let me ask you to elaborate on that. You say international terrorism. Do you mean inspired by or directed by? Because there is a difference.
That's exactly what we don't know, but it's the tactics that they adopted in taking down this place were exactly ISIS tactics. Now, I'm not saying ISIS was behind this, inspired it, they haven't claimed it or anything like that, but the tactics suggest that they were taught in the Middle East, or they simply were on websites and got some sort of training. These are not people that just got mad at, mad at their employer and shot the place up. I just don't see that right now.
And Bob, the presence of a woman there is not something we've seen. There's a lot here that we've never really seen before, but the idea that the wife was somehow involved.
I would suspect she was a believer. It certainly adhered to the Islamic State's propaganda in some way. I think there may be evidence of that. We're going to have to wait and see. but I have never seen a workplace shooting where the wife comes in, drops the baby off in advance,
Right.
and then goes and shoots the place up, and then gets in a gunfight with the police. I've never heard of that ever.
I think that's one, and there are so many disturbing details, of course, coming out about this. That is among those disturbing details, Bob, that not only did they have pre-planning, not only is this a husband and wife, but they also leave a 6-month-old baby behind. That to me, and I don't know better than anybody else, talks to some level of dedication or some intention or mindset that is not a typical workplace shooting.
We have no evidence of any kind of problems at work. I'm agreeing with Bob here that except for this altercation, what was that altercation about? Apparently the reports I'm reading is that he was fine at work. He never had any problems at work. He's never been arrested before. Listen, here's a guy who bought a bulletproof vest, 2 bulletproof vests. Who buys them? Somebody who's planning some type of attack that does not want to get shot. That's as simple as that. Your typical gun shooter out there does not buy a bulletproof vest. And that's a key indicator to me here.
Harry Houck, Bob Baer, thanks so much. A lot of questions we got to go through here, and not a lot of answers just yet. Even the president admits that. Coming up, tactical gear, long guns. You're here.